Good evening, and welcome one and all to another edition of It's Cop Talk on your Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Only place to be is right here on YouTube. Good evening, brother Stoney. How we doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Just I'm happy to be back home. I don't know where everybody else is that's tuning in, but the weather down in London hasn't been too pleasant.
Nah.
I got drenched earlier, so I'm glad I'm actually home and I've had the opportunity just to thaw and dry out. But
So
yeah,
hold
a little
on a
bit
minute,
crazy today.
hold on a minute. You live in England how long? And you telling me, how did you manage to get drenched, bro? You don't know to carry a big coat and a brolly?
I'm going to be honest. Where I was, an umbrella and a brolly wouldn't have been nothing. It did absolutely nothing. I was in a village and it actually got flooded today where I was at work.
Yeah.
So a brolly would have done nothing at all. I was soaked to the rafters. Believe me.
I hear that. Yeah, I saw a piece of rain coming down today, and I was glad because today was my duty day. So that means basically I stay in the office. I didn't
Okay.
have to go out, and I was just looking at all the others, thinking, "Boy, I'm glad I didn't have to go out there today, man. Seriously, because it wasn't looking pretty at all at certain times. I tell you." Gonna say a good evening goes out to Billy Smith. Nice to have you on board, Billy. What does he say? He says he can see Stoney getting ready for Christmas with that Santa Claus beard coming through.
Listen, I tell you, Billy, we have to find lots of ways to generate extra income. And if this is one of the ones, then I'm going to embrace it. I'm telling you, yeah.
Yeah, seasonal work, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Good evening, Desby. Nice one, my bro. How you doing, man? Good to have you on board once again. See, Desby's a regular now, and every week Desby's on. I'm telling you, I'm loving that. Nice one, Des. CW. Evening, gentlemen and ladies, just in case. Yeah, don't worry. Preds will be along shortly. Don't worry. Won't leave him out. Tell ya. Okay, so as usual, this week now, once again, we've had two games. So got lots to get on with. So the first one we'll crack off with is Liverpool-Bournemouth. Managed another clean sheet, gentlemen. Lovely, jubbly. Keep that going. But to start off with, the first thing I want to point out, Stoney, is the offside goal by Semenyo was an early scare. That could have given him a bit of life.
Yeah, and I think, you know what? I think the way that it actually started and the game was so quick, I think it'd have been just reward to how Bournemouth actually started. It was one of the. I'm being honest. It was actually a little gasp for myself. If they've given it, then I must admit I don't think I'd have been. Actually, I'm going to tell a lie. The only way I would have been a bit upset is because I think I said that the result was either going to be a 2-0 or a 3-0. So I think that was my concern that I wouldn't have got my prediction right. But it was close. I've seen in games that would have been given. He's absolutely rapid. He's had a really, really good start to the season for Bournemouth.
Yeah, he had a good season last season.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, he had Andy Robinson on toast. But it was a nice finish. So yeah, I don't know. It was one of those, but even in saying that, if it was lucky. Pardon?
You saying we got lucky? We got lucky then?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. If the goal had stood, I wouldn't have been disheartened this season. If it was last season, we went through a period of time we were just conceding goals really early in the game.
Yeah,
I think I'd have been. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would have had a bit of a concern, but Slot seems to have tightened up us defensively. So said even if it was given, I didn't have any reservations that were going to come back in the game. But you're right, it was an early scare.
It was. Good evening, Bingy, my brother. Nice to have you on board, sir, as well. CW says that Stoney said 2-0 last week. He just checked.
Perfect. Okay.
Billy says that Bournemouth are not a team to think you can easily trump. This season seemed difficult to break down.
So true.
And he's saying that his team, Chelsea, got lucky with the win against Bournemouth. That they did, actually. Bournemouth were all over them. Bournemouth were all over them. They created chance after chance and just couldn't finish their dinner, to be fair.
Yeah, just a quick one on that. I think Billy mentioned that Chelsea were lucky against Bournemouth. Billy, thanks for tuning in. If you can, in the comments, how do you feel about Kepa going out on loan down at Bournemouth?
I think that's a good question. Actually,
it's actually quite a shrewd little bit of business there. But yeah, Billy, how do you feel with Kepa being down at Bournemouth on loan? Do you see him having a future and coming back to playing for Chelsea at some stage?
Good question. Good question. CW says, I thought Bournemouth goal was onside personally. Obviously was tight, but seemed to kick us into gear after that. Yeah. So yeah, you could say we got a bit of rubber to green then, to be fair, on that one. Okay. So one of the things we've definitely been talking about at the back end of last season, the beginning of this season, was Diaz. We've been saying he needs to add more goals and assists to his game. And this one, he got a quick fire double. Seems to be on fire at the start of this season. Only Owen and Salah have scored more goals in the opening 5 games for Liverpool, and they've scored 6. Diaz is now on 5 in his opening 5 games.
Do you know what's interesting, RT? You know what was really interesting about that? I think we've always said on the show that if he's able to get his numbers up there, then we'll be happy. And I'm kind of conflicting here, right? Football now is all data driven. I know when years back when we used to watch football, there was amazing players, and it wasn't just about goals or stats, but what they were able to actually do on the pitch. But hey, look, everything's changed, right? But going back to Diaz, I think he had a really good Copa America, and I think with him actually still playing throughout the summer and almost having early pre-season, it's actually worked in our favor and our advantage. So I'm really pleased for him, actually. I know he went through some well-documented issues with the family last year, and there was some flutters, not from our channel, but some flutters about him possibly moving on and going to Barcelona. But I'm glad that he's settled in, and I just wish for it to continue. And the other side is him playing on that left-hand side of the forward line. We've got so many different options there, so I think whoever's playing there has to make sure that they're delivering, and that can only work in our benefit.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. I think it is working in our benefit when you look at what Gakpo is doing, and he still can't get a starting berth. You understand, on the same side. So I think it definitely is. We just need Chiesa to kick in now on the other side, and then it's peak. It really is really peak. To answer your question, Stoney, Billy says, loan, I want this brother off the books, full stop. So Courtois for 28 million, just to sign Kepa for 79. Just get rid. He's stealing a living, earning 75k a week, doing nothing.
Okay. But you know what? 75 mil for Chelsea's nothing. I'm sure you guys pay the stewards 75 mil just to turn up at the stadium. So I don't think it's a money issue, really.
That's a good point. CW says Diaz best season in the Liverpool shirt so far, in my opinion. What, after 6 or 7 games? Huh? How can you say after 6 or 7 games, man? Come on. He's had a great start to the season, but I wouldn't say it's his best season so far. He's had a good start. Stoney's number 1 fan. Diaz always had good approach, but erratic finishing. Now he's looking the complete package. That's true. That's right. He is. Yeah. He definitely is. Diaz is on 55k a week. Here's a fun fact. Max Phillips is on more.
Wow.
Boy. No. Chiesa needs more minutes, then he'll give Mo a run for his money.
Which is good.
And Kepa was trash for both Diaz goal. Wasn't shocked, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I think the first one, he was poor. That's the one where he came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And the second one, I'm trying to remember the second one.
Did he? Did he flash it across the goal, Diaz, on the second one?
Yeah, I think he did, you know. Yeah, I think he played it. Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So someone also said something I'm going to bring up because we've been speaking about Diaz and his improvement. They said that Diaz has now improved. Trent is defending better. And who else was it that they mentioned? They mentioned somebody else.
From last year.
Somebody else, yeah, someone else in our team they mentioned. And then they turn around to say it was Klopp's fault. That's why these players weren't performing. They're saying that since Slaughter's come in, now all of a sudden these boys are performing.
Oh God! I'd love if that person could come on our show because under Jurgen,
you know him.
Too bad.
You know him, Stoney. The person who said it.
Oh, okay.
It's KV.
All right. Oh, okay. All right.
It's KV.
Because under Klopp, our players didn't do too bad, but you know, we won some trophies here and there. We managed to be quite competitive with two oil companies own state company football teams. But you know, the good thing is everybody's got their opinion, and what I'm happy with so far is that the players are still able to display their professionalism. We're playing a slightly different way of playing football. And we haven't really dropped off. I think my main concern was if a new manager comes in, I don't want us to drop off and let Man City and Arsenal have too much of an advantage. So we just had a positive start to the season, and collectively, the players seem to be relishing in this new style of play. But the foundation was set there by Klopp, so can't be speaking ill of that man there. Can't be doing that at all, man.
Okay. As we see it, the Diaz and Gakpo competition on the left side will be really interesting. Very interesting, I must say. Billy says there may be some truth to it. Some managers have tactical styles that don't benefit certain players, which is very true.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just going to throw that back. What players under Klopp were not performing, and was that down to Klopp or was that down to the players themselves? I don't know.
CW said the person who said that clearly works in McDonald's. Hey, CW, there's nothing wrong with working in McDonald's, man. It's an honest living. And you get discount. What do you guys think of Curtis Jones? What's his best position? Is this a pivotal season for him to cement his place? Des B, you know what? I am going to stick a pin in that one because we are going to get to Curtis Jones.
Yes, in the West Ham game.
We are going to get to Curtis Jones in the next, when we talk about
the West Ham game,
the sport game, we will definitely get to Curtis Jones, because he had a starting role in that. So I've got him on my list already. Don't worry about that. Greetings, Mr. Fitzwarren Brighton. How you doing, sir? Nice to have you on board. Thanks for joining in. Do remember, people, hit that like, that share, and subscribe. We are waiting on, Preds only joins at his own time, so don't worry. He will be here. He's told me already. Okay. So let's do our player watch, and we will start with Kelleher coming back into the team.
Yeah, listen, I'm just happy for Kelleher at the moment, and there's a few reasons behind this. He's 25 at the moment, right? I think he's actually shown that he's more than capable of deputizing for Alisson. Since Alisson has been at the club, he's always had a period of games where he gets injured, and anytime Kelleher gets stepped in, he's just faultless. And I think that's why I actually like him being there. Whether he remains there next season or not, I think it's going to have a big question mark. He's capable of actually being a first team goalkeeper. Next season's going to be interesting because even if Alisson was to move on, with us actually buying the other goalkeeper who's gone back to Valencia, these two can actually be fighting and battling out. So it's going to be interesting to see what Kelleher does for next season. Personally, I'd love for him to stay, but I also respect that, as he said, he should be getting first team game time. I don't think he put a foot wrong, to tell the truth. I know at some stage you're going to be speaking about the man of the match, but he would have been within my top two he would have been my man of the match for that game against Bournemouth. Thought he had a really good game.
He's definitely, I think, the best number 2 in the league. There's no ifs or buts about that for me. And I personally feel he could go to most teams in the league and be starting goalkeeper. For me, no ifs or buts.
When he's in goal, RT, for me, it just feels like there's no drop off. I don't feel like when Alisson's not playing that there's any change at the back. The composure's still there.
No. The only thing, sorry, Stoney. The only thing I will say is his footwork is not as good as Alisson's. That's the one.
Okay, right. I understand that.
That's the one thing I would say.
But everything else in terms of the way that he can command the line, I think he's there. His distribution, I think, is okay as well. But you're right. I just think that he had a really good game, and as I said, he would have been my player for the second rating from that game.
Okay. Next player we will go on to talk about, Ian, is Szoboszlai.
Yeah, another really quiet game. I know he can play in a series of positions, and he's demonstrated that for Liverpool and the national team as well. I still think he's actually finding his feet in this new role. And you know what the thing is? There's no rush. It seems like this is the go-to player that Slot's always going to play or try to play in that position. I know we're going to go into the West Ham game and there's a different player that actually played there, but I don't think there's any rush with Dominic there. He's more than capable of playing that position. I like him, and he's patient as well. I wouldn't have given him a high rating in the game against Bournemouth, but he didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, so just quickly before I move on, I'll just go back to Kelleher because Billy says one of the best backup goalkeepers in the league, and Des goes on to say, as Klopp said, best number 2 in the world. I'm surprised he's still here. Yeah, might not be for long. As we was talking about that, and what's it, Marmasheli, the goalkeeper?
Yeah,
at Valencia.
Yeah,
he's managed to keep 2 clean sheets in his last 2 games as well for them. So
say that again, please.
He's managed to keep 2 clean sheets in his last 2 games at Valencia.
Okay, nice. Okay.
So yeah, so it's another positive again. And Liverpool delegates have been flying out and watching the games.
Okay.
And they'll be going out there and watching the games, and so that
that's good.
A bit of love, man. Sharing a bit of love. So yeah, it's all good. Bingy's going to say they don't rate him. If we did, we wouldn't have signed a new keeper.
But the interesting thing, Bingy, I think Liverpool are kind of right in a situation here, which is quite interesting, right? There was a supposed bid from one of the Saudi teams for Alisson, and he made it clear he was going to stay with us, right? We still don't know what's going to happen with Alisson next season. So if Alisson moves on, then we've only got Kelleher there, right? We've got 2 other young Polish goalkeepers who are both out on loan, but they haven't had any game time or they haven't had any senior performances. So at this stage, we don't even know how good they are. So I think with us purchasing another goalkeeper, I think it's a smart move personally. What we wouldn't want to be in a position for, as an example, is a couple of seasons ago when we were threadbare and we were saying that we should have been proactive instead of reactive in signing players. And I think that's what we're actually doing now. We're actually being proactive in signing another goalkeeper. Because guess what? Two things can happen. Alisson could move on and Kelleher could move on.
Right.
And we're in trouble.
And then we got that Jaro.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
But I think that's part of the reason why they've signed him, because they're not sure what Alisson's going to do. And obviously, because Kelleher's still up in the air because he wants first team football, you have to make moves now.
Yeah. We have to. And as you said, it's the inexperience of Jaro as well. I mean, not to say that revenue's got anything to do with it, but I'm just speaking about game time. He's got less experience in the first team than Jarrell. I think they're both on probably about the same amount of wages a week. But I said wages don't determine how well or how bad a player actually plays. But yeah, we personally haven't seen enough of that goalkeeper for me to say that, we'll be comfortable with him and Kelleher just fighting it out if we didn't purchase other goalie at Valencia.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, Billy. Mamadashvili.
There you go.
There you go. Well done, Billy, son. Well done, son. I reckon he'll go to Wolves or West Ham. Solid young keeper who gets his first team football. Bloody hell, I hope not, man. Seriously. I'm hoping if I don't want to sell him, that's one. Listen, I want it out there. I don't want him going anywhere. I really ideally like him to take over from Alisson as we go forward. And then, like you said, Mamadashvili can come in and then they can fight it out. But Kelleher gets a starting role for me. And we keep him. And if he does have to go, then let him go abroad. Please, let him go abroad.
True. You like me, just be selfish, innit? Don't stay here, man.
Yeah. No, seriously, I really don't, because you just think to yourself, to get someone of that quality, normally the money you have to go and spend that, and you've got somebody there already.
Exactly. Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, you've got somebody there already. But I think he's well within his right to be saying, listen, I want first team football. I don't think he's got any qualms about that. But you also do have to remember who's ahead of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not no joke keeper who's ahead of you. Do you understand? So, well, let's see. But Stoney, do you think it's fair if Alisson leaves, Kelleher stays second and signs a first team keeper?
No, and sorry, Billy, and that's an excellent reply, or what you were mentioning with that comment. I wasn't saying that. I think the point is, even though we've signed a goalkeeper, he signed it. I don't know guy's contract, by the way, right? We don't even know whether his contract is indicating whether he's going to be the first team goalkeeper or whether he's actually joining the first team. So for all we know, Alisson may move on. Kelleher's the number one, and then our new keeper has to fight it out, and then he becomes the second goalkeeper. So, I agree with you. Kelleher just has to come there and fight it out. I reckon he's got more chance on being the first team goalie next season if Alisson moves on than he does this season with Ali staying. But he's just a good keeper. I don't want him to go anywhere.
So CW says that Jaros played for Sturm Graz last season in Austria on loan.
Okay.
Bingy says that that would suggest to me that Alisson is leaving, and I don't believe he's coming to be Kelleher's number 2. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't like how he's being treated. Yeah, I agree with you. Bingy. I don't like how he's treated.
Isn't that a hard one though? Because it's like, I wonder how. And I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know the answer to this, right? I wonder how managers then make that transition from somebody who is a number 1 to then slowly integrate in another player that's capable of coming in and taking their place. That's probably the same situation we were having with Mo Salah at the moment, playing right forward. we probably get some other players who are capable at some stage coming in, but Mo's so good, unless he's injured, nobody ain't taking that place from him. What you do is the same thing with Virgil. The only difference that we've probably seen this season is the transition with Trent moving from the fullback into midfield, and then even with Slot taking off Trent sometime and playing Connor Bradley. That's the only thing that I've seen. And Trent is an elite player. But it's a tricky one. As you said, Artie, we're just blessed. We've got 2 goalkeepers. I'd love if we can keep both of them and then the other keeper, but all of them want to be a number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind if we say, you know what, let Alisson move on next season, let him go Saudi, let him get some paper. You know what I mean? I don't mind that. And then we've got Kelleher and Mamardashvili. I don't mind that. But I think it would be criminal to lose a young keeper like that. I think that's criminal.
Yeah.
I really do think it's criminal. Desby says he agrees with CW. Dom is playing in a new structure. Give him time to settle. And now he's playing more as his cam role, whereas beforehand he was playing more central midfield. Yeah. Now he's playing more of a cam role, so give him time to settle. And hopefully we'll get the best out of him. Feel he's on this thing where if you wanted him to stay, you wouldn't have signed a first choice keeper.
But yeah, I'm going back to what I was saying. We signed the keeper to play in the first team. We don't know what his contract indicates. It may not indicate that he's going to be the first choice goalkeeper. He just signed to the first team. Unless you know something otherwise, Billy, then share it about his contract.
Okay, so Desby says next season Alisson stays for 1 more year. New keeper comes as number 2, and they sell Kelleher.
And then we have to buy another goalkeeper afterwards.
So Billy says Mamardashvili is defo ahead of Kelleher. No offense, but Kelleher could see this as disrespect and leave.
True.
Why is he definitely ahead of Kelleher though? I don't understand why. He's not proven in the Prem.
No.
So now I don't know about that, mate. And yet Kelleher is academy, right? So he's 100% profit. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I pay attention to these things. Yeah, you would have to, mate. Alisson will see out his contract, says Fitzwarren.
I mean, either way with Alisson, he'll leave financially solid, because if you get even if he's got 1 year left in his contract and he goes Saudi, they're gonna be paying him handsomely. I'm not saying he's just leaving for the money, right? But even if he was to leave with the 1 year on, he's still gonna get paid handsomely anyway. So either way, he's in a good position, man.
Oh yeah, he's in a great position, man. He'll be in demand, man. He'll be in demand. Because you know goalkeepers, they can go on a bit longer than outfield players, so he'll be in demand, man. Most definitely, and he'll be an asset anywhere he goes, to be fair. So we had Szoboszlai. Next person we're going to talk about then is we gave him some hell last week. We gave him hell last week, and it's like it works, man. It's like every time we do that, following the following game, these players come back out. And it's like, oh, you was watching the show. You know what I mean?
Oh God.
Who am I talking about, Stoney?
Well, it's either going to be Andy Robinson or Nunes. Which one is he speaking about?
Definitely Nunes.
I think it's going to be one of those similar to Diaz. I go back and I keep saying I'm confident this is going to be his season. He's got time on his side. We've got lots of other forwards and offensive players, so there's no pressure on him. He's got time to develop. He's got time to train. And as he said, with him getting that ban from Uruguay, he's got more time to actually remain with the Liverpool squad and the way in which Slot wants Darwin Nunes to be coached. So you're right. Yeah, we did berate him, but big up anyway, Darwin, for tuning into the show. We're always going to be on your back, and if that's what you need, for you to start scoring goals, then so be it, man.
Yes. Okay. Good evening, Fred, son.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's well.
Yes, mate. Nice.
It looks like it looks like you're all nice and cozy inside, didn't you?
Nice of you to turn up, son.
Oh well, you know what? The second day job has to come first, innit? You know what can I do?
I hear ya. So Billy says Darwin watches 100%. Yeah, bloody well better. Creds, my brother, how you doing, man? He says, you know what it is? Slot is giving them hell as well. He ain't playing. Very true. So we were just saying, Preds, we're still on the Bournemouth game. We haven't moved on yet, and we're just going through our, when we do our player watch, and we've got to Nunes. And I said we gave him hell last week. So it's like he must have been watching the show because all of a sudden he's gone and scored a banger.
Well, I think it's consistent that every time we hammer someone, they come up trumps. So
let's hammer Jones this week then. Yes.
I've been hammering Jones for months, right? And I've got to be honest, fair play to the kids, but I will get onto that, I'm sure.
We're going to talk about Jones in the next game, or when we talk about West Ham. So leave him alone. So how did you see Darwin's game against Bournemouth?
Look, I think he had a lot of endeavour, a lot of energy, like he always does. I think the good thing about it was that he went offside as many times as he usually is, and his movement was a lot better in regards to knowing where to run. And I think his goal kind of signified a little bit of understanding that he's getting in regards to playing in Slot's team. And I think to score a goal on your weaker foot with such accuracy and precision and pace, I mean, it's definitely shows he's got quality. He just needs to show it on a more consistent level, on a consistent basis, I think.
I hear that. Do you know one thing I did notice as well? Is like he spent a lot of time moving across the line as well. He wasn't just like directly down the middle, which I think kind of helped his game as well. Because then it's a struggle for the defenders to pick you up, because 1 minute you're there, the next minute you're over there, and then you manage to get free. But he did, for his goal, I think it was a brilliantly worked goal. How he got the header back, then made the move on, got the ball back, took it inside, and I saw Salah like looking at him to square it inside to him, and Nunes like he never had a thought of passing that ball.
Nah, head was down. And like I said, you know what? I said it last week, and if you see it again, like Nunes, how many touches did Nunes actually have in the game? Like, we kind of bypassed him. And at the moment, Nunes is one of those, he's creating his own chances. Yeah. He just needs to start putting away chances that are laid on for him.
Very, very true. Good point. So, CW was saying that Nunes is like that boxer. He misses the boxer's face for all 11 rounds, then knocks his opponent out in the final round.
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll talk about AJ a bit later anyway, but Darwin defends well from the front, says Mr. Brighton. Very true.
I think what was interesting about that comment about Darwin in the Bournemouth game, and you were mentioning Artie, that he was making a lot of runs from left or right as opposed to darting in behind the actual defenders. He was up against two young defenders. Bournemouth's defence are actually quite young this game. I think the centre back period, I'm sure one of them was 19 and the other one was 20 for this game. So I thought, Darwin's made a slight adjustment to his game, and if it's going to benefit us, then that's good. I think it's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Darwin is one of those players who gives defenders nightmares, just not for goal scoring. He's quick, strong, and creates space for others.
Oh God, that sounds like Mikel Antonio there, man. That's a description.
And we don't want that.
No, we don't want that.
Okay. Problem is, Darwin is about as consistent as a yo-yo. Said that Billy Smith says that others need to make use of that space that Nunes creates.
And Billy, you know, that's something, because Artie was asking about how we thought Dominic has settled in that position just behind the forward. It'll be interesting to see at some stage if Dominic starts capitalizing upon that space that's created by Nunes's runs. I hope it is. Nunes's runs will probably continue to allow our wide players to get involved in the game as well, because with his runs, it probably meant that was another factor with Diaz getting his brace. We never know.
Well, to be fair, he's run in the was it Nunes's run for Diaz's second goal took the two centre halves out of the picture, which then Trent was able to then side rule the ball to Diaz to get the actual second goal. So I think he's starting to make some intelligent runs. Like I said, offside trap, he's not running offside as much as he used to, and I think he's kind of it's more controlled.
Yeah,
his running and his movement, which if he's doing that, then for me it seems like Slot's impact is starting to kind of, starting to hit home.
Okay, so Des B says Darwin didn't do much apart from the goal. He will get better. He has the tools. Just need to put it all together.
I think to be fair, Slot's been. I think he's going to be a bit clever in regards to Darwin can cause havoc in regards to his movement, his running, closing down. But then in around him, he's got the quality to go and punish these teams. And I think maybe Slot's kind of saying, well, you know what, we're going to kind of use his strengths to open up pathways and open up opportunities for other people, other players.
Yeah, I agree. We call Nunes chaos. Yeah, he's chaos all right for many reasons. Billy's got a question for us, gentlemen, before we move on from this game here. Here's a quick question, lads. Rodri injured for the season now. Do you think Liverpool have a real shot of winning the league?
That's a really good question. I think before we came on air, Billy, Artie and I, that was something that we were just speaking about, the update on Rodri's injury. Going into this season, I was always confident that we were going to be in the conversation to be winning the league. I think, in my opinion, it's between us, City, and them other boys that wear the fake red tops from North London. So, yeah, I still believe that. I still believe that we're in. I still believe we're in the conversation. What will be interesting, Billy, is the data from Man City that they've been putting out for the last few seasons is what they've done or what they have not been able to do when Rodri doesn't play. I think he's been overplayed by Man City and the national team. He doesn't play for Liverpool. I dislike any player getting injured, so I am not going to be gloating over a player being injured. I hope that he has a nice, steady recovery. But it's going to be interesting to see how Man City adjust without him. I know they've got an abundance of players, and I'm sure Pep will find a way. But it's going to be interesting to see how they play without Rodri. I think they got Newcastle this weekend, so it's going to be interesting. But even if it's a short-term fix, what can they do long-term? So you've got De Bruyne, who's in and out with injuries, and now Rodri, who's going to be out possibly for a long-term injury. We'll watch this space. Maybe that Man City have to do some catch-up.
Well, we'll see, man. We will definitely see. So before we move on then, gents, quickly, let's have our man of the match for Liverpool against Bournemouth.
Ooh. Well, I think, to be fair, I think you can't look short than giving it to Luis Diaz. I mean, he's come in, he scored 2 goals, he's on fire at the moment, and You know, Gravenberch again. This is something that's starting to become a pattern in regards to, you know, Gravenberch is always in the conversation because of the way he's playing at the moment. So Botzai done well, but he was running. But you know what? Cut a long story short, Luis Diaz for me.
Okay. Stoney?
Yeah, my third place was Salah. My second place was Gallagher. And I agree with you, Preds. My man of the match was Luis Diaz.
Okay. You said, what was you doing, Preds? Why the heavy breathing?
I was literally moving from one room to the other.
That's all, yeah?
I've got to get back in the gym. I'm telling you, mate, it's not good.
Okay. You know what we don't want? We don't want Preds. We don't want any Shay moments on our feed, you know.
I'll tell you what, right about now, it'll be you're done.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You lot are terrible. I haven't seen that clip, man, I'll tell you. Mr. Shannon Sharp.
But I don't know.
Prince, that might be your new name. You might be Mr. Sharp now, bro.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't even know if I have IG Live.
A bit suspect. Very suspect. Okay, gentlemen, we are going to move on to the Carabao Cup. It's current holders. Liverpool 5, Westport 1. We will now talk about, first and foremost, slipping back into old ways and sloppy goal to give away to start off.
Yeah, you know what?
Kwanzaa, right?
Yeah, you know what? I kind of half expected us to be a little bit shady, not shady, a little bit kind of unnerved, a bit unsettled. It's a totally new back four. It was, don't get me wrong, it was a rubbish goal to concede. It was one of those Sunday Park football kind of, you know, you see those videos, didn't you, of these goals being scored like that.
Yeah.
But you know what? The good thing about it is that we responded quite quickly. And nothing. That was the positive thing about it. Yes, it wasn't a great goal to concede. However, our response in regards to going down 1-0 was really, really good and quick as well. So, you know, sometimes you got to go rough with the smooth sometimes.
Okay. Des is having a good chuckle at you there, Preds, man. West Ham are really shit, aren't they? And for that one, Fitzroy was saying his man of the match was Gravenberch. Okay.
Who, for West Ham? Against West Ham?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say. You're giving the man of the match and he's not even playing.
Stoney. He weren't even on the bench.
What did you make of that own goal?
I think it's one of those things that actually happen in football. I think Kwanzaa was trying to sort his feet out. It's hit him. It's got in. As Pred said, he's cleared his head. I think it happened probably around 21 minutes, and then Jota scored the equaliser about 4 or 5 minutes afterwards. So I think it was one of those things. Just clear your head. It was nice. Gomez keeping Kwanzaa upbeat as well. I think Endo was having a little quiet word with him as well. Look, clear your head, young man, and just got on with it. And after that, he just had a sterling performance. I know he got a yellow card later on in the game, but it's one of those things. If you're a defender, I've scored own goals in games. It's not nice. No one wants to do it, but yeah, we bounced back and we just got the job done.
That yellow card was dragging back like he was a fed, bro.
It was one of those ones, isn't it?
Big game, boy. Come in.
He's like, you're not going nowhere.
Man, it was like, up, blood, I tell you.
But I tell you what, to be fair though, did you clock Kwanzaa's 2-second death stare at Endo?
Yeah.
He gave him that look, that 2-second look, and say, "What's going on?" Because Endo should have sorted his feet out. You know, Endo.
No, you should
You know
have.
what I mean?
You should have, yeah. You should have.
Yeah. So, but yeah, these things happen anyway.
Yeah, it happens.
I thought so. Gomez had his first start of the season so far, and he's our captain, right? He looked well off the pace. So I think in terms of minutes, in terms of game time, I thought it was really good that Gomez managed to get a run out. But he looked a bit heavy. I know he was up against. So Gomez started on the right hand side.
Yeah, Danny Ings.
Yeah, Gomez started on the right hand side and Kwanzaa on the left. What's the player that they got from Leeds? Somerville.
Yeah.
His feet are nice, man. Wow. He had a good game.
CW says most of that team last night not played much this season. We were lucky West Ham were so just bad defensively and couldn't score Blackpool amusements.
But you know what? It's one of those things, right? As much as a lot of our players hadn't played for that season, it could have gone the other way around then, right? They haven't played much that season. West Ham are poor. That was just managed. And then we didn't get a result and people would have been questioning us. So for me, I'm just glad that those players actually put in a performance, and we scored the most amount of goals so far this season, haven't we? With 5. So
no,
yeah.
I think Chelsea scored 5 as well.
Arsenal. 5 the most amount of goals we scored so far this season. I know against West Ham.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Bingy says agreed. Preds just didn't like the formation we started with.
But wasn't it similar to what we normally play in the 4-2-3-1? It's just
right. It's similar on paper, but the way we were playing, it looked more
drop deep.
To be honest,
I thought it was a 4-2-3-1 with Jota dropping off as a number 10.
Right.
And then
that's what it looked. That's what it looked like on paper. But when you looked at how we were playing a lot of the times, it actually looked like 4-2-4. And quite a few other people were saying that as well. It looked like that as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because I kind of saw it as Jota was dropping in. He was coming short. Darwin was the one going in behind. Sorry, forgive me, my head's gone a bit mush. Who was on the left side? Gakpo was on the left side. Gakpo actually held his width really well, and I really liked the way he played last night. By the way, I really did like it. And who was on the right? I can't remember.
Kaiser started on the right.
Yes, and Chiesa on the right as well. So it looked like it was I hear what you're saying about the 4-2-4, but I think in possession it was like in possession it was like a 4-2-3-1, and then without possession it was kind of like a 4-4-4 kind of 4-4-1-1, if you like.
But if anything, that's probably good then that Slot is tweaking performances, because I tell you who played like that against us. Ipswich played in that same style against us. When you were mentioning they started at a 4-2-3-1, and defensively, so when we had the ball, they pushed up and they played to the 4-2-4 as well. So I didn't see that tactical. So it's good coming on a show and hearing you guys. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the game as well. But if it means that Slot is making adjustments once again tactically, I think that's a good thing for us and the players.
So most of the players last night haven't played much time, so the rustiness, but came good in the end and will serve us good going forward. I always knew that when you make that amount of changes, the team's never going to be as fluid. It's never going to be as fluid. But you're just hoping that they're good players and that they're good enough to overturn this team. Because really and truly, a West Ham on their day, had they started through players like Paqueta didn't start for me, which was like Kudos as well, was left out. So you're like, okay. I'm like thinking to myself, boy, you lot really should be giving this all you can, because you ain't got much chance of winning anything else. You should
True.
be giving this all you can. And them two players would have definitely been starting for me. That was 100%. Even probably Antonio as well.
Yeah. And they're with that player ended up getting sent off. I think we scored
Alvarez.
2 goals.
Alvarez.
Yeah, the second yellow. I think we scored 2 goals after that.
It's 3-1 at the time.
Yeah, so that was silly, and obviously worked to our advantage for that. But I thought Tsimikas was I don't know what it is.
Poor. He was poor.
Really, I know.
He was.
I was just trying to find some really nice, courteous words. I'm conscious that we're online as well, but he wasn't very good. He wasn't very good.
I'll tell you what. I can't take it out of your hands, mate. He was poor.
No, he was.
He was poor. Like
I think that's one of the worst I've seen him.
Yeah.
Do you see how much time he kept getting caught out? He was just reading the game completely incorrectly, and I just couldn't get it around in my head. I was thinking, why are you getting yourself exposed like that so much?
Even that one across the box when he missed it.
Yeah.
He's just like, what the heck?
Like there was one where they were attacking and he was in no man's land. It was like he couldn't go and press the ball, but he left so much space behind him. There was one where he actually initially done really well in recovery, but then stopped.
Yes, when he stopped, I just looked at it. I was just like, what are you really doing?
And I'm thinking to myself, this guy must be smoking some dust or something. Because seriously, mate, if there was anything to show that we need another left back, that was the game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll be talking about that as well later on. Don't worry about that. We've got to mention about that as well. Billy says Kwanzaa is a potential world beater centre back. He's got the attributes for a veteran at a young age. He's simply sublime.
Yeah, he's 21.
That is exactly what I think about him as well. I think this guy, he's going to be world class. He'll be our new Van Dijk. I'm telling you.
He's 21.
You know what I like about him? He's a ball playing defender.
Yeah,
he can defend quality, but he also, you can see, he's a natural footballer, and I love that. I absolutely love that.
And you know what? The good thing about it as well, the reason why he came off against Ipswich is because Slot thought that he weren't winning his duels.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then yesterday he was winning his duels. And to be quite honest,
Antonio came on.
Yeah, and Antonio.
Did it got a bit peak? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it got
but he kind of in the end, I mean, look, he done all right, and they had 10 men anyway, and we got through. He got through the threat, but like I said, the one way he's given the hook to Antonio, that's when that was a test for him, and I think that one day he's going to learn from that.
Yeah, definitely. Tsimikas just reminds me of a Greek Alberto Moreno.
Yeah.
Cred said, it did look like 4-2-4 at times.
Okay.
Yeah. See, don't worry, see people. Billy's only 14, so he has to go to bed now. So that means he's been told off the computer, Billy. It's time to go to bed. Take care and speak soon, Billy. Where's your time?
Otherwise, I've turned off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. School in the morning, Billy. CW says, started off 4-2-4 for me. Could say 4-1-5 with Endo on his own in midfield because Jones likes to carry ball forward too, as we saw in the second half. As we said, we also have a new manager, new to the league, new to the players. We will get better week by week.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I definitely think so.
Hey, listen, this was quality. Tsimikas trying to do the sliding header on the ground. Absolutely gold dust.
I tell you what, I'll give him credit for that. I'll give him kudos for that. That was the move of the night for me. Like, my man, head first.
Last time I saw that was actually Sunday League. Last night, that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I must say. You know, you can't doubt his commitment there. I'll tell you that much.
No, his commitment was second to none. And when they slowed it down and saw it,
Yeah,
it was like
the commentator said, "Yeah, show that again, show that again."
Yeah,
he was killing himself laughing.
Yeah, and they showed it, and it's like the geezer literally just went down a head dive forward, and like you say, the commitment. But he had to do that because he made an hash.
Yep.
From the initial clearance that he should have done earlier.
Tsimikas for me has been our poorest player so far this season overall. Oof.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he's been our poorest player for a while.
So, gentlemen, what we will talk about then is, I think Wolves had about claims for about 16 penalties, I think it was. Do you think the referee made the right calls, or would you have been upset had you had not got them?
I think you would always be upset at not getting them. However, I don't think there was one that was clear cut. Like, you know, for the referee to say, right, yes, penalty. I think you're always gonna appeal for it. In the predicament that West Ham are in, they're gonna appeal for everything. But like I said, I don't think that any of the penalties, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm just saying that I don't think any of the penalties appeals that they had were like 100% conclusive.
Stoney?
Yeah, I completely agree with Pred. And, you know, even though I know the game didn't have any VAR, even if VAR was still in there, was used for that round, I still don't believe that any of the referees' decisions would have been overturned anyway. So, yeah, none of them were strong enough. That's just in my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
Locatelli was absolutely seething.
Yeah. He ended up injured himself, innit?
He was absolutely seething. Got himself a yellow card and all. Yeah, got booked, mate, for that. So it was 3-1 up before the sending off, so didn't really make no difference. The game was done and dusted by then. So West Ham, at that point, seriously, they were not really a threat to us.
No, they weren't. They weren't. We had to get over the initial part of them. The first half was always going to be really important, and if we could have went in there a goal up or level pegging, then second half was always going to be something that Liverpool would come strong with.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a bit defense here from Bingy now. Bingy says, I think he improved as the game went on. He needs regular game time to find his rhythm. He's one of the players like Diesel. Takes time to warm up. That's why you get hot and cold performances from him.
Who's that? Who's speaking about? Who's Bingy speaking about?
Tsimikas, isn't it?
Bro. It's Tsimikas.
Tsimikas.
Yeah.
Do you know
I mean, go on. No, you go, mate. Go.
No. I'm the way. Go ahead, Preds.
I know. All I was going to say is I get like a little bit of the point of like he's not been playing that well, but he's had a lot of game time, more game time than he has received in the last few seasons. You know, so I just think, I don't know, maybe he's just trying too hard, or I don't know, but well, it is. But yeah, last night was possibly one of his worst games I've seen.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think he's been at Liverpool long enough. His performance should be much better. I know he's a backup. I know he's never going to be the first team, but sometimes you want a squad player to come in, and you want them to try and really try and make a stake for that position. And I just don't ever think that when he's there, if Andy Robinson comes back, Andy Robinson's coming straight back in. So for me, that means that Tsimikas isn't doing something right. He may be comfortable. It may be that he's playing at his level and he can't play any better than he currently is. However, if that's the case, I keep scratching my head to say, why did Liverpool then give him that contract until 2027? So I don't know whether he's good at making scramble egg or whether he's good at mowing the lawn at Melwood. but he must be doing something right in training. So
scrambled egg.
He's got that contract.
I'm
just don't get it.
I'm sure it's a kofta, mate.
Yeah, okay, scrambled egg and kofta then.
Yeah.
I still don't. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, RT. I really don't.
I know that he's quite popular in and around the changing room. I know that he's got it looks like he's got a good relationship with Mo Salah. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's being quite good in the change rooms and being best mates with Salah and everything. But on the pitch is where it really counts, isn't it? At the end of the day, and he hasn't shown enough to say, right, yeah, you don't need to buy a backup. I'm here.
Des says that they would have all been soft talking about the penalties.
Yeah.
CW says was unbearable. The penalty claims not allowed to block the ball these days. These guys, football needs to grow up these days. So stupid. More penalty claims than parking penalty fines. What were we doing here? Okay, so Bingy's not having it, bro.
He's not having it.
Regular game time last season when Robbo was out, he played well. I'm not saying he's the greatest, but without regular game time, we won't see the best of him. Kreds goes on to agree and says, yeah, he does seem like a guy who's good around the camp.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Do you greet people make scrambled eggs? I told you it's kofta, blood.
No. Watch this. Who just said that?
CW.
I tell you what. When you come off here, look up something called Kajiana. Okay, it's a Greek scrambled egg with feta and tomato.
Easy.
I know my food. All right, I'm just saying that. I'm just putting it out there, right?
Easy. That sounds actually quite nice. I might try that.
It is, man. Okay.
All right. So, player watch. So we've spoken a bit about Kwanzaa. How do you think overall, the overall for him?
The overall team.
Oh, Kwanzaa overall.
Oh, Kwanzaa overall. I think like everyone, we started a little bit gingerly. It was a new centre half pairing, which was good to see. Gomez was on the left, and I think he grew in the game. I think he, as a young lad, you know what? I'm going to stop saying as a young lad because at the end of the day, he's in the first team squad, senior squad, and he's there on merit. So. I think he recovered really, really well from the own goal situation, and I think he just grew into the game. And the more Liverpool got comfortable, the more he got comfortable. And passing wise, yeah, he looks like he's very accurate with his passing, and he's comfortable doing it. So yeah, I think he's done really well.
Stoney,
boy. I actually think I'd give Kwanzaa our lowest rating of all of our players. I'd give him a 6.6, and that wasn't just based on the yellow card, and it just wasn't based on the own goal. But I just don't think he had a good performance. I don't know whether it is because he was paired with Gomez. I just felt like he was carrying Gomez, and he wasn't able to play the game that he could have been playing. I thought Gomez would have been played more of a senior game, more of a game where he was dictating play, but it just seemed that Kwanzaa was trying to cover Gomez's misfortunes and errors. So that's how I felt.
Okay.
But I'm almost contradicting myself because if that was the case, then he should have got a higher rating. But yeah, 6.6.
Yeah. We're gonna move on to Endo.
Oh, Endo.
Yeah. First start for him.
Yeah. I think I was critical of him in regards to the goal. I think he should have sorted his feet out a little bit better. I can kind of see why he hasn't been playing, because not out of any, like, he struggles to find those little positions. He struggled to to get into those little pockets of space, and his ball was always backwards or sideways. Whereas at the moment you get McAllister, Mac10, you got Szoboszlai, and you've got Gravenberch, who can always all get into these little pockets of space, but they're looking forward. But they're not only looking forward, they're playing forward as well. And I think that's, not out any fault out of Endo, but I just think you can see right there why he's not starting in Slots' first team within the league.
Yeah, 100%. Stoney?
Yeah, Preds has hit it on the nail on the head there. I think he had good recoveries, good defensive actions. I think it was 7 for 7 on both of those. But in terms of his duels, he was up against Souček in the middle of the park. I think he only won 2 out of 8 of those duels. And for me, he should be doing better. I know he was up against Souček, and they had a new player. Was it Solier that played behind? That played behind Ings. And I just think that between those two, they were able to drag Endo a lot of the times out of position. However, it may also have gone back to what you guys were saying about that change in formation in playing the 4-2-4. Could it have been that he was trying to adjust to that new tactical approach by Slot, why he didn't have a good game? But if I'm just basing it on what I said before, then yeah, I just think I probably would have given him probably about a 7. Once again, it's to do with game time though. He hasn't had much game time as well, so yeah, we'll just see.
Cred says, sounds like you're saying Gomez should have got the lowest scoring.
And that's what, remember I just said, it's almost as if I'm contradicting myself. But the question was, what rating did I give to Kwanzaa? It wasn't about Gomez's rating.
And the thing is, if you remember, West Ham scored with Danny Ings, and if you look about it, Jones and Endo were all out of C. There was nowhere near the play, which enabled West Ham to then change the play to the left side with Somerville, and Somerville's then cut inside. Bradley's got a touch on the ball for a tackle, and lucky enough, Ings was offside. I'm not saying Endo's fault. I'm just saying that defensively in the recovery, Endo and Jones struggled early on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Des says Endo does what he does. He's a destroyer, not a ball playing 6. Bingy says Endo, I'd give a 7. Endo is defensive minded, and those players are more naturally forward thinking.
Yeah, Bingy, I get that. I get that, but I'm just, like I said, I can kind of understand why he's not actually playing, why he's not in the first 11 in the Premiership at the moment, because of those players are doing those. They do those jobs and they do them so well. I think Endo's a player that if we are defending the lead or anything like that towards the end of the game, Endo's probably a player who can come in, break up the play, and make us a little bit more sturdier. But is a 31, 32-year-old player going to want to sit on the bench and wait for his opportunity if and when we are winning the game and the manager wants to shore things up?
Tsimikas gets a 1 for being on the pitch. 1, Okay. We will now definitely speak about Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
This was his first start of the season, right?
Yeah, it's his first start, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, again, like I said, him and Endo struggled in the early part of the game to make a impact. But again, we got to consider that they've not played and this is their first start. However, look, you know what? I'll go straight to it. I think with Diego Jota's goal, I think he done really, really well. And he actually opened my eyes to the fact of what he actually can do what actually he can do. He started quite high up in the pitch. I thought he was actually going to get robbed at one point. And then he actually moved forward, passed the ball forward to Tsimikas, got it back, and then he sped our play up. And it was a nice little slide through ball to to Jota, and Jota's then done what he does best, is slotting the ball in the net. So I think, and then from that, Jones got better and better and better. And football, it's about confidence. And once you get your confidence up, and you know what, in all fair play, I've been quite critical of Jones. But last night, second half, I think he performed to a level where I can see he's matured, playing wise. Whether he's going to be able to get in the team on a regular occasion, on a regular occurrence, that I can't see at this moment in time.
Stoney.
Ditto with Preds. He read my script. Nothing more to add on that. Nothing more to add on that.
I agree, Preds. What Endo offers isn't what Slot wants, but definitely one to use when we want to defend a lead in a tight game. Fitzwarren says, I'll give Curtis Jones a 7.5. Curtis was playing in a double pivot first half. The moment he moved to an 8-10, he looked much better.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Jones was better when McAllister came, which allowed Jones to free roam in the 10. Yeah, he did. No, he did look a lot better in the second half, to be fair. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Don't you think it should should have been a penalty when Jones got put through by Mac 10?
Yeah.
And I can't remember the defender's name, but the defenders held his arm, and Jones just about got past him and flicked his foot at it. That was a penalty, if I ever saw one.
No, it was. I thought so. I
thought so. Yeah.
Could you imagine the uproar if they gave it though? It'd have been a riot, mate. I just hope Jones doesn't get too cocky. We know he wants to constantly play, but when he doesn't play, he needs to keep his head.
I'm sure he will. I think he also understands the depth in the squad that we've got as well. And yeah, look, I just hope that he doesn't come to a stage where it ends up being something like the same situation with Smith Rowe at Arsenal, where you've got a youth academy player, someone who's played for all of the ranks, and sometimes these things just don't work out for you in the first team, and then you have to move on and play football elsewhere. But yeah, we'll just see how he settles in.
Yeah,
I can only really see him getting the EFL games though this season.
But
I don't know,
because there were times when he still got. Remember, he got caught out when he was in the final third. He got caught out, and they ended up going on an attack. That's when one of the West Ham players tried to catch out Keller by his near post, and then from that, it was a corner. And then after that, that was when what's his name? It's his name. The centre half, the one who should have scored but lost his legs in the 6-yard box. All of that. Yeah. What's his name?
Killerman.
Oh.
The one. The one from Wolves.
Yeah.
Kilman.
Kilman, yeah.
Kilman.
So if you think about it, I'm not saying that it is Jones's fault, but Jones could have got the ball. He could have slid the ball through to Jota or Nunez, one of the two. He's held onto the ball.
Yes.
He's got mugged.
Yeah.
And that's when Tsimikas done a great recovery run, but then hesitated, left the ball, and then for about a 2-3 minute period after that, Liverpool, it was on top for Liverpool. We had to defend really, really well. But all of that came from Jones, and that was the first time I think in the game that Jones actually lost the ball in an area where he should have done a lot better, and we nearly got punished for it.
Once again, same old criticism. He dwells on the ball too much, talking about Jones.
Yeah.
Straight away, Des comes in and saying one criticism of Jones sometimes holds onto the ball too long. I don't think it will be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will be wrong. Yeah, Kilman, we know. Creds agree, Bingy. It's always been like that. Needs to make a quick decision. Welcome on board, Nick Fardley. Nice to have you on board, sir. Says you mean hammers get hammered. Long season, everyone will get game time. Yeah, this is one reason why I like the Carabao Cup, because it gives a chance for other players to get game time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep them happy, and also give them a chance to show what they can do. Nothing like match fitness. We know you can train all day long, but there's nothing like match fitness, mate. I'll tell you that much. And
we're defending champions of the EFL Cup. You know what I mean? So it's something that the players. I think the players have to. It's one of those. Whenever fringe players get their chance, they have to make it count. It's just the fact that, you know, like Bingy said the other day, earlier, about Tsimikas not playing as many games as you want. But that's what happens when you're at a club like Liverpool. If you're not in the first 11 in those big games, then you have to be prepared when you play these sort of games. That you have to be prepared. It's not. You have to take your chance. You have to perform.
To show what you can do, mate.
Yeah, I have to.
So, who was your man of the match for that game?
I said I went first last time, so I'll leave it to my esteemed colleague in the corner there.
Gakpo.
Okay.
And I will second that.
Okay. Okay. I thought, bit quiet in the first half, and then came on in the second half for me. But what I was quite surprised at was when he played against AC Milan, it looked like every time he got the ball, he was just going to go at this defender relentlessly. But playing this game, he hardly did that in the first half. He tended to just come back inside and pass it. I don't think I remember him running at the defender in the first half. In the second half, he did a few times, and then he started to open up his legs, and that strike that he had that time as well. Whew.
Yeah, it was nice.
Some real venom.
It was nice.
CW agrees and says Gakpo as well.
Yeah, but you know what, Artie, you were saying about the way that Gakpo played in the Milan game and how he played in this game. I think he actually he had Koufal on toast this game. Koufal at no stage.
Not in the first half.
I thought so. I thought he was running Koufal like Koufal. They were double teaming him, and he was coming there. And I think he was done. I think he done all right.
I think more in the second half.
Okay, that's fair enough.
That's what I reckon. So Bingy agrees as well and says Gakpo as well as CW. Chris is putting somebody else up for it as well. Because let's no. So one thing I'm going to mention as well about a Westport player is I do like when we're linked with a player or have been linked with a player. One thing I do like is watching them play against us, so that I can really get a measure of them. And yesterday, watching Jared Bowen, I was like, I'm glad. I'm so glad that we didn't say it. I'm not gonna lie.
It's levels, isn't it?
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie, because
it's levels.
These are your chances, man. If you really want to be making that step up and say, you know what, I want to leave this club and I can move on to this. These are the games where you should be tearing up trees, man. But sorry, not for me, mate.
But Bowen, I think if David Moyes is in the manager's seat, then I think he does well. But I can't see. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. If we would have got Bowen, I think it would have been like, I think it would have been like us getting David Speedy back in the
day. Say again, Stoney?
That would have been like a Roy Hodgson signing. Remember Roy Hodgson, he was making all of those Cowboy signings. That's what it would have been like.
It says, Gakpo has been decent this season, showing confidence, and he's making good decisions. Fitzroy says Gakpo, his man of the match as well. Bingy says, yep, I rate Kudo. Yep, I like Kudo as well. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, when you're saying about Gakpo in the first half, he actually set up our goal, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he had Koufal on toast. And I think as they went down to 10 men, obviously it's going to get harder and harder. and that's when he started coming into his own, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Humble beginning saying West Indies or West Ham. Bowen only relevant for being in a relationship with Danny Dyer's daughter, Liberty.
Oh no,
Liberties.
That's mad.
Okay, so the talk is, gentlemen, we have been talking about left backs, and Liverpool are meant to be in competition with the scum Man United to sign Anthony Robinson from Fulham. How do you feel about that signing? If we was to get him, that is. How do you think about that?
He opened my eyes last season. He played against us. We played against Fulham at their place and our place, and he was one of the players who actually came out looking really, really good from Fulham's point of view. He was making these marauding runs down the left. Attacking wise, he was good. Defensively, his recovery runs, he looked really, really tidy. And I think it was like he was one that I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind him coming in, and I thought I could see him evolving and learning and getting better, and then becoming like, you know, Liverpool's mainstay at left back. So in actual fact, I actually think it's a good thing if we do get him.
Okay, Stoney.
I don't know. I don't know whether he fits our profile. I don't even know what our profile is, right? So his contract at the moment, I think, is up until 2028, which, to tell the truth, means nothing. Because if we were to make a bid for him, I think he'd come back. I think he's like 27 or 28. So I don't know whether he's
younger than that.
Fit the
You sure?
Robinson at Fulham. I'm sure I thought he's like 28. Someone correct me on that. I thought he's about.
No,
28.
I think he's. I thought he's younger. Yeah.
Is it the American guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's about 28. 27 or 28. I'm sure he is.
No.
Someone in the comments try and find out Robinson age for me, please. At Fulham, but yeah, I don't know. I've got a question mark on him. Yeah. Reservations, definite reservations, but yeah, I'm sure he's much older than we actually think he is. He wouldn't be on my shortlist anyway.
All right, Stoney. 27.
He's 27. All right, I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he's much. Yeah,
it's 27.
Older, but yeah,
right, Stoney,
he definitely wouldn't be on my shortlist.
I said that he's a decent player for me. Not elite, and I agree with what you said. Being at that age, there's not much more time for that much improvement. To be fair,
because I think if we're looking at a left back
at that level of what he is now, and he was like 21, then I could say yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But nah, he's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
Because any left back coming in now, I want them to be a certified left back. I don't want them coming in and having a conversation with Tsimikas and Robinson. I want them to come in and them to know that they're going to be living on the bench. That's the left back that I want to come in.
CW goes on to say, reckons that Robinson, in my eyes, was the best left back in the Prem last season. Shocked he's still at Fulham. Yeah, he had a good season last season, but can he do it again?
We were actually linked to him, weren't we?
Right. Freds. Humble Beginnings wants you to say 7 sizzling sausages sizzling in a sizzling skillet.
I'll say it when Humble comes on and says it. When he comes online and does it and gives us a demonstration of it, then I'll give it a try.
Okay. This is a player that I've been talking about as well. Chris Ross says, what about Aït-Nouri from Wolves? We mentioned him last week, I'm sure, and some people were ooming and ahhing about him as well. Someone was saying he's not the best defensively.
This is I know this is RT guy. I tell you what, one of the things you just mentioned about Bowen, sometimes when a player may be linked to the club or a player that we actually like.
Yeah.
We got Wolves next.
Yes.
Let's see how the young man plays against us in the next game.
Definitely. Okay, so like you said, Wolves coming up next. Match predictions, gentlemen.
Before we do match predictions, I want to throw something out there to the panel and to everybody else tuning into the show. So before I put the question out, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Cop Talk.
Like, share, and subscribe.
And hit the notification bell. Who, to your knowledge, is the most famous Wolves player that's moved from Wolves to Liverpool?
Most famous Wolves player who's...
Yeah.
Diego Jota.
There's a player that moved from Wolves to Liverpool, right? And he ended up being one of the most highly decorated players at Liverpool. Because there's been a lot of transfers between Liverpool and Wolves over the year, but this particular player ended up being the mustard for Liverpool. I'm gonna take you back, like way back. Like I think we bought him in 79-80, season 79-80. And it's only because you mentioned something just now about Wolves. But 79-80, we bought a player from Wolves, ended up coming to Liverpool, and his silverware was just absolutely amazing. Bingy's put something down in the comments. If you can just scroll down, Bingy is not that player.
No way.
It's not that player.
No way.
It's definitely not that player. Let's see who else is. Did Mark Kennedy play for Wolves? I don't even know.
Yeah, he did.
It definitely wasn't Mark Kennedy. It definitely wasn't Mark Kennedy anyway.
What
I've got you guys here, innit?
What position?
He played centre back, right centre back, left centre back. He played left back for us and also midfield as well. Welsh international. Come on, boys. Come on, lads, man.
Welsh international went left back, right back, centre half.
Yeah, as soon as
Who did you just say? Yeah, he's English. He's English.
Oh,
Elmin Hughes.
Huh?
Emlyn
Hughes.
Oh no, because he's British. He was English. It is Elmin Hughes. English. Why do I keep thinking he was what? Yes, Elmin Hughes.
The name sounds well.
Don't you remember we bought him in 79-80 from Wolves?
Emlyn Hughes.
Yeah, don't you remember?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wow. When you say he's Welsh, I'm like, Welsh? He ain't Welsh.
I don't know why I thought he was Welsh, but anyway. But yeah.
It's the name. Bingy said, when you said the year, I said, forget it.
When he said, you know what, I thought it was Emlyn Hughes, and then when you said Welsh, I'm like, hold on, it can't be him because he's not thinking.
I absolutely love Elmin Hughes as a player, man. I'm telling you, absolutely love him as a player. So, yeah.
What do they call him? The Trojan horse? What do they call him? The galloping horse or something? Because the way he ran.
Crazy horse.
Crazy horse, that's it.
He was good. He was definitely good. Yeah.
Emlyn Hughes was an English footballer who started his career at Blackpool in 64 before moving to Liverpool in 67.
Nah.
You got the country
him from Wolves in 79, didn't we?
Year wrong.
Sure.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? It wasn't Emlyn Hughes.
That's Stone. I think
it was Elmin Hughes.
That's wrong.
No, I haven't.
That's very rare, Stone. You get something wrong.
I couldn't have got that wrong.
Oh, he's second guessing himself.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll have to go back and do my research then.
Hey, listen, remember this one, folks. Remember this one. Stoney, historian,
Let me see.
our Stato.
No, he did play.
I'm going to
for
put you
Wolves.
on all of that rain that
He
was
did play
entering my
for
brain
Wolves.
earlier, and I got so. Go on.
He did play for Wolves.
He was with us in '79, though, right?
But he signed for Liverpool in '67.
Raw. Hold on. What's going on in my head then? This must be an AI Neville today then, an AI Stoney.
Are you trying to? Did you just say that you was out in the rain and that rain washed it away?
I got that wrong then.
He went to Wolverhampton Wanderers in '79.
Oh, right.
So he was.
See, I'm trying to make up facts then.
Yeah. So he was successful.
Good job for Google.
He was successful. He was successful before he went to Wolves with Liverpool.
Stoney been drinking something strange. That cucumber juice is out again.
Oh my God.
Never
mind. So what we were saying, we were speaking about Wolves.
79. That's what happened to Stoney. He left Liverpool in '79.
Oh, so that's probably why I remember it that much then.
Right. Okay. Stoney trying to trick us out here, man.
Oh gosh. Listen, I need to go back and start watching some more footage, man. So we were speaking about the Wolves game.
Yeah. Your prediction, Stoney.
Oh, 3-0. 3-0 to Liverpool.
Oh, somebody else said that in the thing. I think that might have been CW as well, said 3-0.
Someone else said 3-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was gonna go, 2 or 3-0 to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, Wolves are in a bad place at the moment. So they need a good. I think it's a good time to play them right now. I feel sorry for them because I do like them, to be fair. And I think old Gary's he was doing well with them to play some.
But they've been doing nothing though, really.
Sorry?
Yeah. I just think they're an average team at the moment. I think who was their player? Is Kuna still injured? Their offensive player?
No, Kuna played the other day and scored.
And they've got a young.
They lost Kilman.
They've got a young Colombian defender.
Yeah.
But he's injured now. I think he's out for the rest of this season.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, tell a lie. They've got two good midfielders now. Actually, one of them, Mario, someone in midfield. But I just think, I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be 3-0. Okay. It's going to be 3-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely see another 3 points for us. Keep us marching on, gentlemen. That battle is on. Oh yeah, they got Andre as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he that'll be interesting.
Right. Thank you, Artie. So you know why that's going to be a good game as well? This is the guy from Fluminense that we were looking at the time, the central midfielder.
Yes.
And then he remained there to play in a Copa Libertadores, wasn't it?
That's the one.
Right. That midfielder. And I think they ended up buying him for about 34, 39 mil.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a good time to watch him. Similar to what you were just saying as well, Artie, about players that are actually linked with the club that didn't end up coming. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually perform. I forgot Wolves got him actually. That was a good shout.
Yep.
Yeah, but we've got to remember that was a Klopp that I think that Liverpool wanted him when Klopp was obviously in charge.
Yeah.
But not Slot. So, it's one of those where he could have potentially been with us, but hey, it'll be a good test to see how he is.
Yeah, man. I'd like to have a look and see how he does against our boys. But yeah. Okay. Want to say thank you everybody for joining in. Thank you for your comments. It's been brilliant. I must say once again, we will definitely be back next week. So do remember, if you hit that like, that share, that subscribe, that notification bell, so you never have to miss a show. Never, ever, ever, ever. Wherever you're at, doesn't matter wherever you're at. You could be on the moon, you can still get us. Tell ya. Anyway, gentlemen. Preds, thanks for doing half a show, by the way, mate.
It's all right. I'm gonna log off and go and get a cup of Lemsip and some honey rum.
Like you need it, mate.
Yeah, some honey, rum, and lemon, and do some, boy.
You need some honey, lemon, garlic, ginger, and a little rum.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I'm heading off.
Better than any lemsip, yeah.
Yeah, I'm heading off for that right now, Rude Boy. So, but be safe, people.
Okay.
See you next week.
Yeah, look, thanks once again, Artie, for hosting the show. Thanks everybody else for tuning in and sharing your comments and thoughts and questions. Deeply appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we will see everybody again next week, Thursday at 11 p.m.
11.
Like, share, and subscribe. 11.
I'm tricking you. 10 p.m.
Oh.
I was about to give you one of those triple D.
You know, I said 11. It will give you enough time for Preds to come on and be on time. That's what
mate.